Hey guys, Josh here. So we started tidying up this section before everything went down into the lockdown, and we got all the retaining walls done and the fencing all tidied up and painted, ready to go while we're waiting on the consent to be issued. Now that we are able to return back to work and everything is slowly starting to resume back to normal, we've made a good start. So day one, and yeah, we're day one of footings. Let's have a look. So first off today, we excavated all the footings. We had a digger come in and we set basically these things you see over here in the corner here, what we call profiles. So we set them up. They show us our building lines. So we use a string to tie from one end of that to the other end. That gives us the line of our building. We then transfer that down onto the ground and mark that out with some spray paint. The digger comes along, he digs along the line for us, and then we follow him behind and clean out all the soil and dig it all out and make it all nice and tidy, and check the bottom to make sure it's nice and solid, and then we mark it out again for our reinforcing, which you see there. So these wee white pegs you can see in the ground, that's what our reinforcing bottom bar sits on, and that holds it up off the ground so it gets good concrete right the way around it. We tie all those bars in right the way around, set up our lines again and check it to make sure it's all sitting pretty nice and good, and then mark out our starter rods. So these ones here are our starter rods, and they're the ones that tie the footing up into the floor. So we basically stick them on at the right centres and tie them off with a wee bit of steel, and then once we pour the concrete, we'll stand them up straight so they're sticking straight up out of the ground, ready for the block layer to lay its blocks around them. It's a pretty straightforward little slab. There's not really too much in it. A couple wee steps, pretty standard. A couple wee holes out the front just for some posts, and yeah, so the digger, he'll come back once the foundations are laid and clean all this soil and stuff out of the middle, dig it all out so we've got a nice base to work in, and get rid of all that for us. But yeah, we're pretty much ready for inspection tomorrow, and then we'll pour the concrete, get it all nice and levelled off, ready for the block layer to start laying the foundation. Hey guys, another good day today. We've managed to get the footings poured and all the steels all stood up, inspection passed, all good. So now that we've got the footings poured, you can see where all these steels were sticking up. These here, you can see I've got a little line there. So that's the line of my foundation blocks, and these steels come up through the middle of the blocks. And they go all the way around, and they tie the footing, the ground, up into the floor, ties the whole thing together. These wee yellow things you see on top of them are safety caps, and they prevent, if you slip or have an accident and trip over, they prevent this from piercing your body. Just a bit of health and safety for you guys. Hey guys, here we are, end of day 4, and the block foundation has been laid. It has also been filled with concrete. You can see the concrete's still a little bit green in there. That pipe you see is there, that is the ducting for the power, for the electricity to come in. Alright, end of week 1. The first week of the build can always be a wee bit of an unknown. You don't really know exactly what you're going to find in the ground unless you've done some pretty intensive soil testing and bearing work with the engineer. So this one we had a fairly good idea that it was reasonably solid. We'd already scraped off a bit of the section to know that we had good solid clay, but you just never know when you start digging. Sometimes it can be quite solid on top. The digger goes in and it's just soft underneath, and you have to keep digging and digging and digging, and that's where a lot of blowouts can come on a lot of jobs. So that first kind of week, definitely a lot of potential risk, and with weather as well. You know, weather can cause quite major delays during that first week. But we've been good. We had a few days with a wee bit of rain, but nothing too major. We managed to get the foundation in. It's all poured and all complete. So yeah, why don't we go take a look? Alright, so these concrete blocks you can see here, these are called Firth header blocks, and basically what they do is they form the outside of our floor. So our floor comes flush with the top of here and is poured into that. So they have the back cut out of them, and that there is the thickness of our floor, thereabouts. As you can see on the front here, we've got a wee black line chalked all the way around, and that line there is 150 mil down from our floor level. That is the minimum you need to be for ground clearance, so floor off the ground, if you've got a paved surface that is sloping away from the building. So we're going to do concrete right the way around this house, all the way around. There's not really much room for a bit of a garden, and there'll be a bit of a garden on top of that retaining wall, so it doesn't really make sense to try and do anything other than concrete. It'll keep it nice and tidy. It'll just form back into there. There'll be a little bit of a drain right the way around the outside for the water to get away. But yeah, and then out the front we'll have terraces, all sloping away from the building to help drive that water away, and just keep everything nice and neat and tidy and just clean and simple. One thing I forgot to mention was before we start any build, if we for whatever reason can't identify the survey pegs, or if we've got an inkling that maybe the survey pegs aren't accurate or they've been moved or something like that, we'll get a surveyor to come in with a GPS survey equipment, and he'll come and mark our boundaries, usually with a peg, puts a wee note on there. He'll put some wee tags in on the ground as well, and it's kind of like big nails with a wee tag on them, and they give us just a really good idea of exactly where our boundaries are. Really important, especially on these sites where you are building quite close to the boundary and you've got recession planes and height restrictions and things like that to contend with. The council will want to see this, and they may even ask for the floor to actually be surveyed after the floor's been poured to ensure that you have set it up to the correct height. So really important to make sure that you get all that stuff sorted right from the start, save you a lot of headaches.